Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at the Polderbaan, which is being used for arrivals today. And this is the PHBVA flying on the base leg, arriving from Johannesburg, KLM flight 592. What a beautiful day it is. Very good morning to everybody who has joined already. First airplane of the show, A320 Neo EasyJet, arriving from Birmingham. Brand new airplane. First flight February 2024. Big picture, Cavalcade Day. What more is there to say? Blue skies, here and there, a contra remnant, a few high cirrus clouds. These are also back in the background. Lovely weather. Little bit of wind blowing from the south, southeast. This is what it looks like on the scale of chimney smoke. Glide slope with TUI flight 822 arriving from Cancun in the foreground. The Orange Pride as number 2, and we have Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Dubai as number 3. Very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Let me see if I can find those messages. There it is. A massive big thank you to Sander, gifting 10 memberships already before the stream started. Absolutely bonkers. Thank you so much for that. I hope that the recipients will say thank you for it and use the custom emojis now at your disposal. Now, I was also told by Lise that JD also gifted 5 memberships. I'm unable to find the message in my program. So JD, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Lisa told me that you already notified the chat that you were off to the spa. So hopefully when watching this in rerun, you will hear me. And thank you so much, Jörg. I hope the recipients of the memberships will say Dankeschön or thank you for the gifted membership. Now the firefighters already did their round just now. They already passed by, sadly. Orange Pride next. We saw it, turn base. And it is a double triple shot, 777-300 the PHBVA in the foreground. Behind it is Emirates flight 9906, arriving from Dubai World Center. This is Emirates Sky Cargo coming in. Oh man. Scott, celebrating 3 months of membership, my favorite streamer. Thank you for your kind words, Scott. Thank you for your continued support. I hope I will do you proud as your favorite streamer for many more months to come, and I hope you will stick around for many more months to come to witness it. If not as a member, then at least as a frequent visitor. Now, morning everybody who has joined already. The first A350 is flying base over Castricum and is also going to land, by the looks of it, as number 3. Marja, Astrid Wolf, good morning. Joop, goedemorgen. QJ, Axel. Oh no, Axel was gifted a membership. That was just a pop-up in chat. Bill, Scott, all others, good morning. PHBVA. magnificent scene. Never grows old watching it land. And we have doggos on the loose over here. They already passed by just now. Happy to say hi. Always very cheerful, those little doggos. Now Bill, a thank you to you as well. A massive big thank you. You just now gifted 5 memberships. Totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. I hope that the recipients will say thank you for it. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Bill, and don't forget to use those custom emojis. And that also goes for Scott, who just now gifted the membership. And I see who was the recipient. Axel was the recipient.
And Austrian Wolf.
Austrian Wolf too. Yeah, I see it. I was trying to scroll back to the bottom of the screen. Wolfgang, what the fudge are you doing, mate? Also gifting 5 memberships. Mate, you are doing more than enough as a moderator. Thank you so much. You really shouldn't have. I hope that the recipients will all say thank you to the gifters of the memberships you received the membership from. And don't forget to use those custom emojis, folks. This is Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Dubai World Center, flight 9906, a 777 freighter. Oh. Let me also once again fiddle a little bit with the zoom remote. I think this is a better setting. It's been a while since we last been here for arrivals. Last couple of visits to the Polderbaan were for departures. There are even some pieces of grass trying to grow between the trampled soil here. Can't let that happen. Duck is in the water over there. And our first A350 is coming in. And Wolfgang, thank you so much once again for your kind words, mate. Well deserved. Well, don't know that. You'll be the judge of that, but it's very much appreciated. You really shouldn't have. As a moderator, you're doing more than enough as it is already. Thank you for your continued support as a moderator and as a member. Alrighty, what's up next? It is Delta Airlines Flight 74. The first A350 of the show. It is arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. If I recall correctly, another A350 from Corendon was expected between 12 and 1 o'clock. Hey there Roy, goedemorgen. Indeed, great conditions today. A one-off opportunity. As of tomorrow, new depressions with precipitation are expected to visit the Netherlands. So it's just this one day where we're under the influence of high pressure. No pressure here, except high pressure. Howdy Marco, goedemorgen. Bill says, Harry and Russell are chaperoning you two. They are, absolutely. It's almost like a Hitchcock film at moments. Now, speaking of the devils, don't see them anymore, but we heard them just now and they were constantly sitting on the light masts behind us. Think you calling them out, Bill, has chased them away for the time being. Howdy Tom, goedemorgen, good morning. Mike, good morning. Mike's tuning in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mevrouw Robin, goedemorgen. All others who've joined. Michelle, me, myself, Peter, me, myself, and I. Yeah, and I. I. That's true. nice to see such a big amount of spray being produced. Now, granted, yesterday we did have precipitation, as you guys saw in yesterday's stream, but I don't think it rained after the end of the afternoon, I think. So, whether or not this is just moisture from the air, then don't know. Let's see what else is coming in. Delta Airlines Flight 56. And somewhere in the background from the right, an Embraer 190 should be turning in. The Embraer 190 returning from Prague. The airplane that we see is Delta Airlines Flight 56 arriving from Salt Lake City. That's an A330 Neo, the first of the show. Goedemorgen Mikey, good morning. And also a massive big thank you to Roy, celebrating 17 months of membership, upwards and onwards with AMS Live. He says, Roy, thank you so much for your kind words and for the support. 17 months already. Also one of the members in the deep green now. Greenpeace is loving it. Thank you so much, Roy, for your continued support. Upwards and onwards it is. Up. Let's move to the next 17 months. Mike Wild, good morning. Fun and football, hoy. Bill needed the earplugs. Good morning, Wexa Chisek. Intervloek Spotter, good morning. Gebakje, goedemorgen. Siegfried, goedemorgen. André, morning. André tuning in just in time. The second airplane that you now see on the glide slope is a very rare Embraer. Especially for you. There's a third airplane turning in. That's an all 737-900 arriving from Tel Aviv. Michel indeed rightly said that the fire truck was spraying water on the runway. Well, not so much on the runway, but on the tarmac right in front of the station. After they do their patrol round, they always test their equipment. So it wasn't so much the runway that they sprayed, but a bit of the tarmac that connects the station with the runway. I think that is the all 737 turning in that you see on the left in the background. And indeed, Wexa Chisek, nice weather in AMS today. Bom dia, Graziano, and all others who've joined, good morning. Delta Airlines Flight 56, the first A330 Neo of the show, arriving from Salt Lake City. Quiet. Quiet. That's not what we ordered. And Jan Jansen says, I live in Sweet Lake City, Zoetermeer. Indeed, literally translated, almost literally, sweeter city, sweeter lake, Zoetermeer. Wolfgang says we need an Embraer burger at the Golden M. Well, or the BK. Personally, as a vegetarian, I think that the burgers from BK are better than those of the Golden Arches. Hey there, Voids Aviation. Good morning. Björn, goedemorgen. Voids Aviation asks, sunny in Amsterdam today. Absolutely. The only clouds that we can see on lower altitude are, ironically, overseas. Normally speaking, it is the other way around.
The Foxa. Arriving at Schiphol in about 50 minutes.
Yep.
Says name is Net.
Yep. Foxa is coming. Air Aviation asks, did you have to stand in a traffic jam to drive to Schiphol? No. It was a typical Sunday, really quiet on the road. Okay. Little moment of buffering. Quickie burgers. No idea. Right, next up, El Al, flight 337, arriving from Tel Aviv, 737-900. Another buffering issue just now, no idea what happened there. Got a notification that the stream stopped, resumed it. Oop. Flyby of Daisy Duck. El Al flight 337 arriving from Tel Aviv. This is 737-900. 10-year-old airplane, first flight March 2014. Yeah. It's funny though, because if I use speedtest.net and test my modem out here in the field, I should have a very high upload and download speed, and the internet speed is never a problem here. It's always at P3 that the reception is worst. Anyway, good morning Nico, good morning Leo. Good morning all others who have joined in the meantime. Good morning, you're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy. We're standing at the Polderbaan. Arrivals taking place. It is KVK, beautiful weather. This is an A319 from Croatia Airlines, flight 450, arriving from Zagreb. 26-year-old airplane, first flight May 1998. Sander saying that the A380 is now over the Black Sea. If I recall correctly, it was expected to arrive around 1 o'clock. Bookie meow, good meowing. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Flight Fanatics HD is boarded on Transavia flight 5216 from Catania to Schiphol. That probably is going to land on Polderbaan, I think. Should be good then. And Hi says hello. Hi there, Hi. Hey Jeroen, goedemorgen. Jan is asking when the PHXB is going to make its first landing at Schiphol. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe someone else does. The 9H CTH. That plane we saw so often before already. Giving us a butt shot. And I spy with my little eye on flight radar KLM flight 749 approaching the Dutch coast from the west. Arriving from Cartagena, 787-10 Dreamliner. Should be arriving soon. Looks like it is going to be number 3 for arrivals. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Hans, who is celebrating 9 months of membership. Morning, he says, let's spot a rare Embraer. Well, I think you're going to be lucky today then. Shouldn't be a problem. Who's that hip-hopping in the field? Russell and Sheryl Crow. Nibble, nibble. Nibble, nibble. Right, the next airplane coming in is going to be Tarom, flight 361, arriving from Bucharest. Zet krijgen maar en boek hem jou 6. Could also be the case. Could also be the case. Tarom arriving from Bucharest. Yesterday the Tarom 737-700 in the SkyTeam livery went around. Still don't know why. Landing on runway 27. The only aborted landing that we saw. Only go around. Runway 24 is being used for departures. And this is, well, it's a 737. Oh, Ryanair by the looks of it. Hey there Patrick, goedemorgen. Paul from Leiden, goedemorgen. Or from Noordwijk. Pjotterke, goedemorgen, good morning. Righty. Next up, KLM flight 1772, arriving from Berlin. Oh. P2 is passing by. Authority. And the Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena should be turning in from the left somewhere. So I'm widening the shot. There it is. Turning in is KLM flight 749 arriving from Cartagena, the 787-10 Dreamliner. Good morning, Nicholas. Hello, Air Aviation. Martijn NL, good morning. And all others who have joined, good morning to you too. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is Polderbaan. Runway 18 right. Being used for arrivals. Right now, the only runway center is used as secondary runway, as is always the case, normally speaking, when the wind is blowing from the south. This wind is blowing from the south-southeast a little bit. Handful of knots, nothing too severe. No crabbing or anything. It's CAV okay. Ceiling and visibility are okay. Almost a completely blue sky all over. Makes for good visibility. There's a third airplane approaching the glide slope. Again from the left. Not sure if we can pick it up in the background. United Airlines 777 arriving from San Francisco. Third to land. First up, KLM 737 arriving from Berlin. Flight 1772. Alright, we have outbound traffic coming in. Perfectly blue backdrop. Bit of high cirrus clouds, another contrail in the distance over there. Nothing in the immediate vicinity otherwise, except of course the Dreamliner that is arriving from Cartagena. KLM flight 749, 787-10 Dreamliner. The PH-BKF, 4 years old, first flight December 2019. After that, United Airlines flight 968 arriving from San Francisco. Good morning. Indeed, Mike, 787-10. What's this taking off? That is a 777-300 by the looks of it. No. A few contrails visible over there. Also over there. Also one over there. Was it higher? Was it lower? Let me see. A bit higher, I think, still. No, there it is. Luchty? No? Dreamliner of sorts. Bit hard for me to see what it is. Looks nice though. Thai. Peter asks, could be if there is a Thai flying over there. WestJet it is, Calgary to Rome, Zolurk says. WestJet 787. Frog in my throat. Carry me the sticker. K1 passing by, saying hi. Michael also in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. United Airlines is coming in. It's a 777-200 arrived from San Francisco. 27 years old, February 1997. I'm
still younger.
Yeah, Lisa is still younger, only just. Combo shot with K1. Pull up those reversers, baby. Come on, you know you want to. The landings today a bit timid. I think we are in for a butt shot though. Ali Martin, goedemorgen. Whoa! Bonus butt shot of a big bird. Nice. Next up, United Airlines flight 909, a 787-8 Dreamliner. 7 hours and 20 minutes underway. There it is. Flying AMS Live logo, 11 years old, first flight October 2012. After that, 2 narrow bodies. Can we see them already? 1, 2. Nice linear glide slope shot here. Number 2 is KLM flight 1930, 737-800 arriving from Geneva. Third airplane to arrive, A319 BA flight 4230 arriving from London Heathrow. Oh wow, 2 consecutive heavy hit or butt shots. Nice, nice. Pleasant surprise there.
Trying to find a good spot.
Where you can overlook the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's difficult because the grass still isn't cut here.
Bring my flamethrower.
Yeah, you should have brought your flamethrower here. Hey there, Blackburst, good morning. Now, if you just joined us, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is a 3 airplane glide slope shot. 3 airplanes arriving on Polderbaan today. The only runway for arrivals at the moment. Center runway also in use for arrivals. We have a little bit of wind blowing from the south-southeast. The Emirates A380 is expected shortly after 1 o'clock. So that is probably going to land on the center runway. You might pick up on Norwegian outbound.
Female plane.
Passing overhead. First of the 3 airplanes that you saw on the glide slope to land is KLM flight 1930 arriving from Geneva. Wolfgang says Lisa needs to use her legs and stand up. Yeah, but she wants to sit down in the director's chair. Luckily, if you stand up, things are still okay here. You can still.
Puppet master needs to sit down.
The puppet master needs to sit down. She says with an evil grin on her face. Wonder what that means. 2 airplanes coming in. BA flight 430 up first, arriving from London Heathrow. A319. Behind it is KLM flight 598, arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. A 777-300. Also, a BizJet seems to be approaching runway 22, arriving from Malaga. NetJets, what's that? That is an Embraer Phenom 300, which I'm sure we should be able to see from over here if I know where I need to look. Let's see if I can spot it in a moment. Hey there Martin, good morning. Michael, goedemorgen. Camille, good morning. Salut mon ami. Kwame, good morning. Kwame says, good morning, love the sounds of these massive engines in my ears. We all do, mate. You've come to the right address to listen to those sounds. Hopefully the next airplane after this one will give some nice engine sounds. 300 Lovely little bit of cirrus clouds over there. Some contrails. Pretty distant though. There is a contrail a bit closer by, I now happen to see. Lighting not optimal, flying too close in the vicinity of the sun, or at least where the sun is in the sky right now. You can see a twin jet, that is it. Bigger twin jet, much more easily discernible, now landing. KLM flight 598 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa, 777-300 And in this airplane, the parents of Mitchell Prince, who returned from Cape Town in this airplane. Well, they landed safely, Mitchell. Hey Wesley, goedemorgen. Georgios, good morning. Hope all is well. So for those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. It is a beautiful day over here. You can see bit of high cirrus clouds here and there, contrails here and there, overhead traffic, both outbound from runway 24, Air Baltic A220, but also a nice little contrail. What is this? Is that Lufty? I think it is. Looks like Lufty. Is that a Dreamliner? Judging by the wing shape, I would be inclined to say yes it does, or yes it is. It does look like a Dreamliner. I think it is one. You guys be the judge of that. Now on the same route, two more airplanes visible. One already passed by, so I'm not going to bother too much with following it because it is moving away. One is coming towards us. In the meantime, another narrow body is landing here on Polderbaan. Let's have a look and see what this is. This looks like a bit of a bigger jet. Is that a 777? 300? It's on the same route. I think it's going to Frankfurt. Or at least traffic going to Frankfurt is going there. Alan, mate, morning. Alan says I'm going to church just to see if I catch fire. Well, as long as you don't have any beepers with you, you probably shouldn't be catching any fires. Mate, hope all is well. Lufty first, Turkish after, and Jean-Yves also in the chat. Mon ami, good morning, salut. Derek, goedemorgen. Albert says Singapore question mark. Peter says could also be A350. Okay, so still a bit of debate about which airplanes we actually saw just now. The last airplane is a bit closer by now, probably as close as it is going to get. Last look before going back to what is happening on Polderbaan. Sky Express arriving from Zakynthos, A320neo next to land. Greece is bliss. Pretty sure Georgios can confirm Greece is bliss. Paul Paul says Turkish 777 Toronto to Istanbul. Thank you and good morning. And good morning to everybody who has joined. Tom, goedemorgen. Dirkie asks if the mother duckers are awake yet. Well, they definitely got awoken by the firefighters. No, it wasn't. Was it the firefighters? It was the firefighters, right? I was standing up and the firefighters passed by using the sirens. And a group of ducks in the water, a bit further to the north. They were somewhere over here. They definitely got awoken by...
They ducked out of here.
They ducked out of here, unfortunately. So, we're out of duck. Unfortunately. So they are awake, but they have gone into hiding again, sadly. This is KLM flight 1918 arriving back to Amsterdam from Zurich. Next to land after this is a 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from New York JFK. KLM Big Bird. Funnily enough, in Sesame Street in the Netherlands, Big Bird is blue, whereas in other nations it is yellow. So, Big Blue Bird is also Pino, as it is called in the Netherlands. Our Big Bird is called Pino, which is an Italian name for a boy. So, non capisco.
Make it make sense.
You make it make sense. Because I can't. Hadi Marco, goedemorgen. Marco says, wat een prachtige beelden krijgen we weer te zien. I'm doing my best. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Lovely footage that we are getting to see, Marco says in Dutch. Joko, goedemorgen. Michael wonders why the Dutch changed Big Bird. What the fudge? Yeah, well, don't know. Maybe they wanted it KLM blue. It is a similar color. A similar Big Bird, Dutch Big Bird does have a similar shade of blue as KLM does. Hey there Hans, goedemorgen. And Jeff, good morning. So you are a big blue bird, lol. Absolutely. The Cookie Monster is blue. In Dutch Sesame Street, Cookie Monster is also blue. I think the rest is left unchanged. Bert and Ernie as well. It's just Big Bird that in the Netherlands is blue and it's called Pino. P-I-N-O.
Big L said, the Dutch Big Bird does only fan.
The big Dutch Big Bird does only fan. I'm not sure that it does. I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Show off them feathers.
Show off the feathers, ruffle some more feathers. Hey there Casper, goedemorgen. And all others who have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is a 3 airplane glide slope shot of arrivals at Polderbaan. At the moment, the only runway being used for arrivals. Later in the morning, I think in just over 15 minutes from now, center runway is also going to open up for arrivals. We have a little bit of wind blowing from the south, southeast. Handful of knots, nothing substantial. As you guys can see, beautiful blue skies all over. The sun is shining and has been all the morning. Absolutely lovely weather. This is Transavia, flight 6916, returning from Olbia. And next up is going to be EasyJet, an A319 arriving from London Gatwick. Good morning, Frank. Hope you brought us some good news today. Good morning, the Everything channel. Goedemorgen. Hey there, Izzy. Good evening, Izzy, tuning in from Sydney, local time 6:45 p.m. and a cool 17 degrees. Mate, I think it's warmer over there than it is over here. Although with the sun shining and hardly any wind, it does feel warmer than the objective air temperature will indicate. Michael asks, does everyone agree that Bert and Ernie are a gay couple? They probably are. This EasyJet A319 is 17 years old. First flight of this airplane was in March 2007. Hey there, Finnair A350 fan. Good evening. And all others who have joined, good evening, good morning. Lufthansa will be next. A320 returning from Frankfurt. So, if you joined us just now, you missed the Orange Pride, which was one of the first airplanes to land on the show today. I think somewhere in the first 10 minutes or so. Let's have a quick look at what is going on. First of all, let's have a quick look on flight radar. We see that a cargo Lux 747 is expected around 12:30. We have Atlas Air, that's late, expected around 3 p.m. Emirates expected 1:03. Cargo Lux is expected also late, 3:30. These are expected in the evening or late afternoon. Emirates A380 expected 1:03, probably going to center. Cargo Lux is going to Polderbaan, no question about that. Quick look at the METAR, it is still KVK, we have still wind blowing from the south, now 6 knots, 204, high pressure, 1027 hectopascals. Let me update the ticker with the METAR after the landing of the next airplane. Lufthansa flight 988 arriving from Frankfurt, A320. Aditina, goedemorgen. En all others, Pjotterke. Little butt shot to boot. Gives me a brief moment to paste that new meter in the ticker. It's a KVK day, so not much is changing. The wind isn't changing substantially. The temperature is neither. Looking up and around me, not a lot to see. Well, what is to see is that there is some high clouds approaching from the southwest. That is the first, those are the first indicators of a weather change. Tomorrow and Tuesday, rain expected. This is KLM flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. And the first airplane to land on the center runway is already on the glide slope and is approaching. So from 11 o'clock till 11:40, parallel arrivals will be in progress. SAS, the first airplane. Sassy. Hey there, Helen. Good morning. Hope all is well. Where is it? There it is. Parallel arrivals in progress. The first airplane to center is approaching SAS flight 1553, A320neo, arriving from Stockholm. A little bit behind it, parallel to it, Air Canada. Air Canada. Flight 808. A330-300 arriving from Toronto. Trying to steal some money. Hey there, Jinshin. Aloha, mate. Hope all is well. Good to see ya. Happy New Year as well. K3, the culprit of the fireworks you just now heard. How much solar panels do you want on your house? All of them. Yep, they live in between a runway and a highway.
How?
The runway highway to hell. Right, well, SAS is passing us by right now, but unfortunately we cannot follow it. Otherwise we would miss the landing of Air Canada Flight 808 in the Star Alliance livery. A330-300, 15-year-old airplane, first flight April 2009. Indeed, Ari, ideal spotter's place to live. Not for NIMBYs though. Already, our next airplane coming in is Aegean A320neo arriving from Athens, flight 3624. 3 hours and 2 minutes underway, going to center. The NSX NER. NER is brand new. First flight of this airplane was in April this year. Nerd. It's nerding out. Going to center. Meanwhile, we have a 777-200 arriving from Austin. Coming to the Polderbaan. It's time to refocus. Oh! Yep. That was Russell the Crow saying good morning everybody. If you've been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. Make sure to get this content out to other aviation enthusiasts more easily by liking the stream. And subscribe if you haven't already. That's what Russell just now said. Absolutely, yeah. Their language is very compact and very efficient. They can transmit a lot of information with... It's true. Hey, en Pedro says, dankzij jouw uitzending kon ik mijn vrouw zien landen. KLM Flight 592. Nice. Well, happy to oblige, mate. And now the number 8 on flight radar, tracked by 212 people. KLM Flight 668. 777-200 arriving from Austin, Texas. 19-year-old airplane, first flight September 2004. Oh, going for a wheelie, eh? Nice. Nice. Nick says, goedemorgen vanuit Snits. Tuning in from Snake in Friesland. Nice, good morning. And all others who have joined, good morning to you too. Next airplane to land on center is arriving from Innsbruck in Österreich. Transavia flight 6610. It is a 737-700. And next to Polderbaan is playtime. The Transavia underway for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Hey! Embraer 190 arriving from Nuremberg, crossing. Where is it? Oh yeah. Interesting. This is an arriving flight, arriving from Nuremberg, which apparently... Well, where is it? Come on. This is an inbound flight. Arriving from Nuremberg. For some reason passing overhead. Probably at 7,000 feet plus. Probably going to make a right hand turn to enter the traffic pattern for Polderbaan then. Next up, A320neo playtime, arriving from Reykjavik, flight 460. The TFPPE. Frank says, Mafia people always try to avoid snitch. Absolutely. Snitching is not allowed. Or they'll be held to pay. The omerta is sacred, always. Hadi Johan, good morning. And all others who have joined, good morning. Welcome to the show, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, we're standing at Polderbaan. One of two runways in use for arrivals right now. K3. What? Bird control K3. Parallel arrivals in progress. Embraer 190 arriving from Munich to center. Where? What? 222? Or what? That's not a DC-3. That's a 737. This is KLM flight 1030 arriving from Person-Chester or People-Chester. Another overhead airplane. Incoming. All white, arriving from Istanbul. Expected to land on Polderbaan shortly. Meanwhile, arriving from Copenhagen, the first and currently only A321neo from KLM, the PHAXA. Hadi Satori, good morning. Ralph, good morning. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope all is well with you too. Hey there Jay, good morning. Nice weather indeed, isn't it? An Indian summer day in the midst of autumn. Just a one-off day unfortunately. Tomorrow rain expected, the day after tomorrow as well. Now, in my opinion, an even prettier airplane is going to land next, so I'm going to turn around the camera to have a look at it. It is ITA Airways, flight 120, arriving from Milan. Bombardier C Series 300 A220. Brand new airplane, first flight March 2024. Now, using the reverses as well. As nice as the KLM A321neo is, in my opinion this one is way better looking. Howdy Ronald, goedemorgen, good morning. Howdy Stefan, goedemorgen. Butt shot of ITA Airways, bellissimo. Now, what else is coming in? We have an E2 Embraer coming in from Oslo, going to the center runway. KLM flight 1198 this is. Coming to the Polderbaan is Transavia flight 5472. Well, coming to the Polderbaan, almost touching down already, arriving from Mehan with fresh mayonnaise. Uffel 80 also says about the ITA that it is a good looking plane, absolutely. Beautiful airplane, beautiful livery. One of the best, if not the best looking modern airplane at least. It's not a Hodo, Jeff says. Absolutely. The Ho we saw yesterday, what a beautiful Ho it was. This has a frog in her throat. Hey Lucas, good morning. And Hans says, I just got hungry. I just feel packaged for a pizza with pineapple. Me too. Bellissimo. Air France up next, A320 arriving from Paris, flight 1444, KLM South or Air Baguette. Another airplane on the glide slope, that would be KLM flight 636 arriving from Las Vegas, 777-200. Meanwhile, narrow bodies are going to the center runway. Embraer 190 flying parallel to this airplane, to the Air France. Howdy Erwin, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. All others who have joined, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. At the moment, one of two runways being used for arrivals, together with center. The center is expected to stay open for arrivals until approximately 11:40, though they did open the runway earlier, normally around 11 o'clock. They already opened it 5 or 10 minutes ago. So maybe they'll also close it earlier, don't know for sure. If that would be true, then maybe until 11:30, parallel arrivals. After that, until 1 o'clock. All inbound traffic once again will be coming to Polderbaan. We have the Emirates A380 expected shortly after 1 o'clock, so that is probably going to land on runway center, which we can perfectly see from over here. And around 12:30, a 747 arriving from Miami is expected. This is KLM flight 636, 777-200 arriving from Las Vegas. Flight time 9 hours and 17 minutes. It's the PHBQO. 17-year-old airplane, first flight January 2007. Also Stefan, welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing AMS Live again. Hope you will like it in the lounge once more. Don't forget to use the custom emojis. You have them available at least for a month, if not for longer. Spamming is not allowed, but spamming with custom emojis is very much allowed. That goes for all members. Don't be afraid to use the custom emojis. There are quite a few. Lucia. Lucia says, I just read about a wheelie. Can somebody tell me what's the purpose of a wheelie? And indeed, as Michael was already saying, aerodynamic braking. It's basically using drag to slow down the airplane instead of using brakes. Embraer 190 to Amsterdam from Billund. Coming in. And that Embraer 190 that arrived from Nuremberg and passed over the runway earlier is now next to land on Polderbaan. Hey, goedemorgen, some Dutch guy. Hot coffee and donuts here, Frank says. Ooh, donuts. Cannot remember the last time I've had one of those. I do remember that I always liked them. Maybe a little bit too much. That's probably why I haven't had them, a lot of them recently. Donuts and chips, crisps. Those are dangerous goods to have in the house. Back on food again. Yeah, it's a recurring theme. It's a recurring theme in the chat, in the streams, but also in life in general. So unavoidable, I think. Hadi Adrie, goedemorgen. Stefan has to go. Something to do in the house. Hope to come to Schiphol again soon for some spotting. Have a nice day, everyone. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you arrive. To see you arrive. Looking forward to your arrival, Stefan. Enjoy the rest of your day. Micah asks if I fly planes myself. Would that I could. Unfortunately, I'm color vision deficient, so the only thing that I am allowed to fly are little airplanes during VFR conditions. So I'm not allowed to fly commercially, not allowed to instruct, not allowed to fly through clouds, I'm not allowed to fly during nights. The only thing I am allowed to do is fly planes during KVK weather or in between clouds or under clouds. At least medically. But since I have no pilot license of any sort, unfortunately the answer is no. I have tried it though. Maria asks, are you allowed to fly paper planes?
On paper?
On paper I am. Aphrodite also back in the chat and coming in with a bang, celebrating 15 months of membership, as she writes, still loving it. Goedemorgen Aphrodite, welcome back, good to have you, hope all is well, and thank you for your continued support, not only as a member but also as a moderator. Let me know if something isn't to your liking. I'm sounding like a broken record, I realize that, but it is important for me that you guys are happy as mods and as members. This is a Delta Airlines A330 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota, flight 162. Please use the reversers. Nope, no dice. I guess it's one of those days where they just roll out. Rightly so though, truth be told, I mean, very calm weather. Absolutely no reason to use any thrust reversers, but it would be nice. Hey, nice, Frank has his drone license. Well, some people can drone on and on and on without a license, apparently. Not sure if it is legal though. It should be forbidden if it isn't already. What do we have here? We have two airplanes on the glide slope. One is that all-white A321 arriving from Istanbul that we also saw past the runway perpendicularly earlier. Iberia Express arriving from Madrid. Next, and we have an airplane that seems to be flying to the center glide slope. In between, what is that? That is further away. Oh, that's an airplane arriving from Nice, which is Nice. So I think... Where is that overshooting? No, I think it's going to center. Now ITA is also coming in to center. As it happens, it is flying right on the other side now, so I think that will make for a nice transition. ITA Airways flight 108 arriving from Rome. A320neo going to the center runway. Evan also back in the chat. Good morning, mate. And Evan asks, have you or Lisa ever tried duck eggs? I can't say that I have. All the eggs I've ever consumed, to my knowledge, have been chicken eggs. Lisa says, me neither. Is there something special about duck eggs? Not sure what they would taste like. Have you tried them, Evan? If so, what's the difference between regular eggs and... Michael asks, have you ever tried to get a waiver for the color blindness? My brother, who is a captain for American, got one. The FAA gives them if you can pass a light gun test from the ATC tower. I don't know. What I did was I applied for a class 1 medical back in the day, back when I was also busy trying to get into flight school. Then I failed the Ishihara color, what are they called? The color cards tests, and they sent me to the Amsterdam Academic Medical Center, to the, what's it called again? The eye department. Don't know the name of the department again in English, but where all the eye doctors work. They did additional testing with a lantern, with marbles or something that I had to put in order. It was a color gradient from bluish to purplish or something. I failed sufficient tests. After that I got only permission for a class 2 with VFR restriction. I do know that there, or at least back in the day when I was more informed and looked into it in the subject matter, which is over 15 years ago already, I do know that there were some differing rules. Also the CAA in England had some tests that you could also get a waiver from. Never looked into it very deeply. Ah! Tasting fishy. Marco says you start quacking from duck eggs. Frank says you should try an ostrich egg. Food for a week. Yeah, those things are huge. The Asahari test. I'm pretty sure Asahari is a little bit different. It's something different. Right, and Micah got her PPO in 2023. Yeah, so I could apply for a PPO, but then only with VFR limitation. I'm not sure if I would be able to sustain it. You of course need to do so many landings and so many takeoffs, so many hours per year. I think initially you can do some cost sharing with friends and relatives by taking them along, but as soon as everybody in your circle has done it once, you'll probably be only flying with other pilots, and I'm not sure if I would stay motivated to keep renewing the license. And it is a big expense. Michael says, I lost my medical when I took some medicine that made me color deficient. The FAA told me to get a waiver, but I couldn't pass that test either. Yeah. Yeah, and if I recall correctly, in Australia, with color vision, with certain degrees of color vision deficiency, you're still able to get your ATPL and just fly commercially. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. I'm too old now anyway. Just waiting for my retirement and then my last years here on Earth before switching to going to heaven, yeah. Trading in the temporary for the eternal. Well, there's a runway inspection in progress on Polderbaan, so I am assuming pretty soon they are going to close the center runway. That is nice, means we will have to wait a bit for traffic to come again. There are one or two contrails that are visible right now. There's also an airplane coming towards us from the west. That should pass us relatively close by once it gets to its nearest by point. This is zoomed in moderately, this is maximally zoomed in, pixelated AF. Now, while also trying to follow the contrail, I'm also checking out flight radar. The first airplane to arrive looks to be going to center, arriving from Bristol, which normally would have been sent to the Polderbaan, since it is arriving from the west. Maybe the Embraer 190 from Southampton is the next airplane to arrive to Polderbaan. Looks like it. Meanwhile, what is this? Is that WestJet or is that a special livery of sorts? Looks busy with a lot of details and a lot of stuff. Then again, it also looks a little bit like a Dreamliner from this angle. Almost thinking Kenya Airways with that come to Africa livery or something. Definitely looks like a Dreamliner. Alrighty, couple of airplanes still going to the center runway. I think those are going to be the last ones. Etihad 787. Okay, cool. Warner Brothers livery. Right, so it was a special livery. Nice. Now, a few airplanes to the center runway first. This is KLM Embraer 190 in the SkyTeam livery arriving from Bristol. Embraer 190 arriving from Bologna behind it. And it does look like the airplane arriving from Southampton is established on the glide slope to Polderbaan. So I think maybe 3 Embraer 190s to center and then they're going to close it again. Or is it? Is it the case? Not sure. Still early to do that already. 11:19, but they did also open up the center runway earlier than normally would have been the case. Normally it happens around 11 and they were almost 10 minutes earlier today. So this is KLM flight 1662 arriving from Bologna. Embraer 190, 1 hour and 47 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane, first flight January 2014. And your Paul says, good filming standing next to you, haha. Your Paul? Hey, goedemiddag man. Of is het? Ja, nee, het is nog ochtend. Was goed? Ja, lekker. Now, the wind is picking up a little bit, still nothing to write home about. Still feels like it is coming from the south most of the predominantly. Little bit, yeah, I think still southeast. KLM flight 1174 arriving from Stavanger. And in the meantime, also the first airplane to Polderbaan is approaching. KLM flight 1070 arriving from Southampton. And there is another Embraer behind it, an E2 Embraer 195. Widening the shot a little bit, there it is. KLM flight 924 arriving from Edinburgh, and we have JetBlue turning in. Should turn in the background somewhere from the left, if we can see it, which I'm not sure that we can. Alright. Also coming this way is the Dash 8 100 Coast Guard. Just took off from runway 22. Oh, nice combo shot. Hey there, Bill, good morning. Pedro, good morning. For others who have joined, good morning. You are watching Amos Live, my name is Boy. We're standing at Polderbaan, which is used for arrivals. Just now, resuming. Accepting arriving traffic after a runway inspection just took place. We're still seeing parallel arrivals for the time being. How much longer remains to be seen. Not very long, I suspect. That is why they did a runway inspection of the Polderbaan. Briefly closing it down. Usually that precedes the closure of the other runway, in this case the center runway, which will stay closed then until 1 o'clock approximately. Hey there, Avi, good to see you again. Long time no speak. Hope all is well. Hadi Clementia, goedemiddag. All others who've joined, good afternoon too. Now, next airplane coming in is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Edinburgh. KLM flight 924. The airplane is a year old, first flight July 2023. It is the PHNXS. Alan tuning in from Brisbane. Good evening, mate. Good to see you. I hope all is well. Peter, good morning. And all others who have joined, Good morning. Welcome to the show. You're watching Amos Live. The Emirates A380 is expected around 1 o'clock today. Around 12:30 local time, we are expecting a 747 arriving from Miami. As you guys can see, beautiful weather, blue skies all over. It is K, means that we can also see contrails. This is a twin jet that is approaching from the northeast, passing by north of me, almost exactly north of me. Also coming in is JetBlue Flight 31 arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. 6 hours and 36 minutes on the way, 2 years old, first flight June 2022. Adriaan, goedemorgen. Welcome back, hope all is well. JetBlue arriving from Boston. 3,001 nautical miles. According to flight radar, it has traveled so far on this route. Hey there, Paul, good to see ya. And you're welcome, Avi, you're welcome. Next up, TUI. Dreamliner arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad. Hey, Cootie. Hey, cutie Cootie. Doing some cardio. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Now it's not alone. There's a little bit more where that came from. Looks like another coot. So the coots are awake. Not sure if the ducks are still in the vicinity. They got chased away by the firefighters earlier in the morning. So whether or not Donald and Daisy are in the vicinity remains to be seen. They did wake up early. Courtesy of the firefighters. Now this is TUI Flight 395 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. The PHTFJ, 9 years old, first flight January 2015. Izzy asks, we've seen Russell Crowe earlier, but where is Steven Seagal? Yeah, Steven Seagal is an MIA so far. Can't say that I've seen him recently. What I can see though is that the high cirrus clouds and the nebulosity that was visible in the southwestern part of the sky is gradually closing in, foreboding a weather change with rain and precipitation tomorrow. This looks like the last airplane to the center runway, and after that until approximately 1 o'clock, if all is well, all inbound traffic should be coming to the Polderbaan once more. Next airplane to land is KLM Flight 736. It is a 777-300ER, also arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. The PHBVN, 9 years old, first flight February 2015. Hadi Kees, goedemorgen. Is it morning still? Yeah, it is still morning. Han asks about Harry. Spotted him already. Also, no. No, looking around me. Can't say that I have one. Hey there, Ahmad. And indeed, Bold Rage, the bigger the plane, the smoother is the landing. Now, in the field, definitely a lot of crow crew members. A murder of crows in the field over there. Harry, can't say that I've seen him. I think those are the Cooties continuing their swim to the south. Massive contrail is inbound. Is that a quad squad? It sure looks like it. Might be an A380. Maybe if it is closer by we can have a better look at it. For now, let's turn around and focus on what we can see best, and that is inbound traffic to Polderban with another rare Embraer E2 1700 in E-Jet sticker, which is on the left side of the fuselage, so we cannot see it from over here. Hadi Denny, goedemorgen. Hope all is well, good to see you again. The E2 Embraer is arriving from Dublin, Ireland, 2 years old, first flight September 2022, so it just turned 2. Alright, noise. Wolfgang says an A340 will pass you near Leiden, east to west at 30k. Okay, so that was, so I think that is what I was seeing then. Yeah, so it has to be this airplane. So this was an A340 then. Well, I hope you guys can make something resembling an A340 out of it, because I certainly can't. I think I only see a dark tail. Is it Lufty? Has to be. Probably visible better if it is, if it has passed south of us and is moving away from the sun. Meanwhile, glide slope shot with a KLM Embraer 190 in the foreground and KLM flight 601, a Dreamliner 7879 arriving from LAX in the background. Third airplane is turning in the background. As you guys could see, that is SAS flight 821 arriving from Oslo. And this is a German Airways arriving from Aberdeen, flying on behalf of KLM. No Chucky, no dice, no carbs either. We're on a diet, a Chucky-less diet. Lufty A340, clearly discernible. Hey Sarah, good to see ya. All is well, hopefully. KLM flight 604 arriving from LAX, just a little late, 7879 Dreamliner. Hey there, Peter K. Good afternoon. Welcome one and all. Pedro says spraying poison in the Dutch skies. You think? Right. Well, it does leave a nice contrail, doesn't it? The A340. Blammo. Also something passed by just now, moving away from me towards the north, the east-northeast. Pretty challenging to still make out what that was. The hip-hop crew over there, hipping and hopping. Meanwhile, once again, Polderbaan has become the only runway for arrivals, at least until approximately 1 o'clock. Next airplane coming in is SAS flight 821. It is the A320 arriving from Oslo. 1 hour and 21 minutes of flight time. It's the Oi Cat. K-A-T. Oi Cat. Oi Cat, come over here. Oi Cat is 17 years old. Obviously, Oi Cat has hit puberty a couple of years ago. First flight was in July 2007. Oi Cat, come over here. Pretty sure in a few years she'll prefer to be called Catherine. Hi Catherine. It's just a phase. Jerry, goedemorgen. Still morning here. 11:37 now. Our next airplane coming in. Austrian Airlines arriving from Vienna. Hey there Joel, goedemorgen. Good to see you again mate, hope all is well. Austrian flight 379 coming in next, A320 arriving from Vienna, 1 hour and 29 minutes on the way, 21 years old, first flight January 2003. The airplane behind it is EasyJet arriving from Prague, A320neo flight 27926. Time to hit the vodka. Let's see, A320neo, Air Oink Oink, number 3 to arrive, is flying base and is turning in. Hadi Lane, goedemorgen. Welcome one and all. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. Now once again, the only runway for inbound traffic today. Hey, and that's for the first time that the sun is not shining abundantly, but is dimmed a little bit due to contrail remnants. Speaking of which, got another one coming in. Looks like a twin jet though. I think it is a twin jet, so it is coming. Mate Scorpo, bonjour. Welcome, one and all. Next airplane to come in is EasyJet, an A320neo arriving from Prague, and behind it is Air Oink Oink, the A321neo arriving from Istanbul. And we have an Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington coming in next. Next after that, hey, ciao Matteo, good to see you again. Hope all is well. We're getting a little butt shot over here. Mike is informing us that Transavia in the Sunweb livery is arriving, currently flying next to Rotterdam, so we should see it pretty soon. Now that twin jet producing a nice contrail over there. Looks like Qatar to me. Might be wrong. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but looks like Qatar from my point of view over here. Next up, Air Oink Oink arriving from Istanbul. The A321neo from Pegasus in the 100th livery. Nice. 100 Oink Oinks are flying around, and this one is arriving from Istanbul. The airplane is a year old, first flight September 2023, so it just turned one somewhere in this month. Hey, and Sander says TUI is off the coast. That's the girlfriend of my old colleague and the boss of my dogs, the dog sitter. Wow. A friend of a friend of a friend. 100 oinkies. Beautiful. The bacon bus, fly pigs. Indeed. Let's have another look at the weather. So the meter refresh will indicate still wind blowing from the south-southeast more or less. It is still cavalcade. The wind speed has increased a little bit, 8 knots, 304. The air pressure relatively high, 1027 hectopascals. No significant changes in the upcoming hours. Air temperature is 13 degrees Celsius, so that is roughly 56 F. Not very warm. With the sun not shining anymore, you can feel it over here. ETA of the cargo logs arriving from Miami, 12:14. So in half an hour or so from now it is expected to land, and Emirates A380 is expected 1:03. On paper it is going to go to the center runway. In practice we might get lucky, but don't count on it. It has happened before that the ETA was just around 1 o'clock and that the runway it was assigned to turned out to be the Polderbaan. So fingers crossed, but don't get your hopes up too high is what I would say. Next airplane to come in is an Eastern Airways Britty Hopper arriving from Teesside or Darlington, flying on behalf of KLM, flight 964. Embraer 190 long range, 15 years old, first flight somewhere in 2009. Now Alan has to go off to Manchester to watch United play. Hopefully I can piss off some Spurs fans. Mate, I hope you will. Enjoy the match, mate. Careful that you don't enter into any fights. Now, check it out. I was looking to see if maybe we could catch a wave, but no wave. Instead, a nice wheelie or aerodynamic braking. Very common occurrence. Absolutely not worth making dedicated videos about. Now, massive big thank you to Paul. Paul Logan just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. Thank you for choosing AMS Live, mate, and I hope you will like it in the lounge. Don't forget to use the custom emojis. That goes for all members. They're there for a reason. Spamming is not allowed, but do feel free to spam us with the custom emojis. The wind is picking up a little bit. You can see it on the scale of chimney smoke as well. I think Transavia Sunweb is flying behind us somewhere. Looks like it is flying a little bit off the coast. Oh, there is another airplane approaching. 737-900 arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. Approaching over there. Over the North Sea Canal. Gear is extending. Footage is getting a little bit shaky due to the increase in wind speed. Let me quickly go into the menu. Well, no. First this landing. Hey Mark! Mr. Hilton also back in the chat. As a Spurs fan, I hope you have a wasted journey. Ooh, game on! Football is amazing. Yeah, it brings out the best in people. It's the PHTFU. It's missing an S. It's the PHSTFU. Or at least that's, I think, what it should say. It probably should have said. Now in the blue part of the sky we can still see contrails, and what we are seeing here is an Emirates A330, no, 777-300 A330, no, of course not. Quite clearly discernible as, recognizable as Emirates. Next up, KLM flight 1406, arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. And Alan Lee is tuning in from the northeast of England. Welcome back, mate. Happy Sunday. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday to all. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, where this KLM is doing a very floaty landing, returning from London. No, Paris. I keep mixing up my capitals like I'm some sort of millennial. Again, Lisa has something in her throat that she needs to clear. Huh, what a coincidence. Paul Kramer's also back. Arjan says good morning, just in the nick of time. 10 more minutes of morning left. And if I recall correctly, the next airplane to arrive, where is it? It should be Transavia in the Sunweb livery. If I recall correctly, Michael was informing us about it, and it sure looks like it. Turning final. Wolfgang says, Lisa sounds like a duck. Smiley, smiley, smiley. Case in point, yeah, absolutely. Jeff says there's another A340 flying over, heading to Washington DC. Will it pass me north or south of me? Not seeing anything right now in the sky that I would recognize as an A340 contrail. Sam asks, did you spot the A321neo from KLM? Well, when? I saw it today, and also during a couple of test flights in the streams we also saw it. It landed on center today, returning from Copenhagen, if I recall correctly, earlier. We've seen it on several occasions already. Hey Bart, goedemorgen man. Is goed man. Mr. V1 Aviation also on the premises. Where was I? Oh yeah, right. There I was. Transavia, flight 6116 in the Sunweb livery, arriving from Malaga. Now 2 hours and 28 minutes underway. 8-year-old airplane, the PHHXA. First flight February 2016. En goedemorgen Sam. Jeff asks, where is Eindhoven? Eindhoven is in the province of Brabant. That's in the south of the Netherlands, the southern half. In the center of the country, more or less, but then a little bit south, to the south. Houdoe. KLM A330-300 arriving from Bonaire in the background. KLM flight 765. Countdown flight number, and after that we are going to see Delta Airlines flight 144 and A330neo returning to Amsterdam from Seattle, Washington. Avi has to go, so she says bye bye boy, till next time. See you later Avi. Schönen Tag noch. Hannah is tuning in from South Africa, good morning. Hope all is well, welcome back. Wesley is listening to the scanner of this runway. Nice. Liveatc.net if you want to listen in with ATC. That's where you can find free streams. This is KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. 8 hours 49 minutes underway. A330-300 and the airplane behind it is the A330neo from Delta Airlines. Flight 144 arrived from Seattle. Nice 2-airplane glide slope shot. One of Transavia's A321neos is arriving from Seville and is flying on the downwind leg. Think it might become the 3rd airplane to land. Sure looks like it. You see it already? Oh yeah, in the vicinity of the radio tower. Oh, listen to the radio. There it is. Yep. Unmistakably A321neo Transavia. First up, KLM flight 765. KLM flight 1704 looks like it is going to be the 4th airplane to land. E2 Embraer, arriving from Brussels, all the way from Brussels. That is definitely a flight you one day have to try, Lisa. First, all the way to Brussels Airport, which will take more time than the flight from Brussels to Amsterdam. Yeah. It'll be fun, they say. We saw helicopter Kestrel, field Kestrel hovering, but it was just a flock of crows. A murder. Murder of crows. Meanwhile, Jurgo Verkooyen says, Goedemorgen. Just in the nick of time, 5 more minutes. Muscles from Brussels, yes indeed. Now, also, hi to everybody over here. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan. Runway 18 right, currently the only runway once again in use for arrivals. Wind is still moderate but picking up a little bit as the morning progresses. Wind is blowing from the south. Polderbaan at the moment the only runway in use for arrivals. Center is expected to open up again in an hour and 5 minutes from now. The Emirates A380 is also expected around that time, so it's going to be interesting to see if it is going to be assigned to the center runway or to Polderbaan perhaps. Not counting on it, but there's always a possibility, you never know for sure with Schiphol, although if I had to put money on had to place a bet and put money on it, I would say it's going to go to center. Now in half an hour or so from now we are expecting a Boeing 747 arriving from Miami, so arriving from the west. We'll be landing on the Polderbaan. You can also see that there's a 777-300 arriving from Toronto, approaching the coastline. First up, Delta Airlines flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington, 8 hours and 28 minutes underway. It is an A330neo. The airplane is a year old. The first flight of this airplane was in April 2023. Omar says, I think it is just about acceptable to still say good morning everybody. Well, we're filming from Central Europe, or at least where we have Central European time, and over here it is still 3 minutes of morning left. Hey there Omar, good to see you again. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel and you're liking what you've been seeing so far, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are a lot of viewers watching. Many of them are knowledgeable, all of them are friendly. So feel free to shoot. Jimmy also back, good morning. Izzy says it's now 19:57 in Sydney, so good evening to you. Yeah. People all across the world are tuning in, so for some it is in the middle of the night, for others it is morning, for others it is evening. Some are watching with morning coffee, others are sipping on something heavier, something stronger. Me, I'm always sipping on vodka, always. Lisa says, who is also still sitting here, shaking her head. If there's not a frog stuck in her throat, she is shaking her head. Anything to stay warm over here. Next up is Transavia A321neo arriving from Seville. 2 hours and 27 minutes underway. It is the PHYHZ. That's the first rental that they got delivered, and it happened back in November 2023. Almost 5 a.m. in Kansas for Michael. Pretty sure that Michael isn't sipping on any strong stuff yet, except for black coffee perhaps. No, you're right. Assumption is the mother of all F-ups. Never assume. Hadi Ton, goedemorgen. Still, 1 minute left. Goedemorgen allemaal. Mooie stream en sound weer van AMS Live. Weer. Again, weer. Thank you for your kind words there. Hey Fabian. Morning Schiphol. Good to see you from Shanghai. Nice. Fabian is tuning in all the way from Shanghai. Good evening, mate. Jeff says it's 5 a.m. here. Definitely good morning. A321 Neo arriving from Seville. Not a Coupe de Ville, but a Coupe Seville. If you want to get your suit made to measure, go to Seville Road. Now it is double triple time almost. First an E2 Embraer arrived from Brussels, but after that two 777-300ERs back to back. Where is number 3? I wonder. There it is. It is turning in. The airplane turning in is KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. Hey there, Paul. Rod and I are chilling on the sofa with black coffee and whiskey today. Hick. Nice. Coffee and scotch. So that's two consecutive 777-300s. The first one arriving from Toronto, the second one arriving from Panama City. First up, E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1704 arriving from Brussels. The PH NXO. Sorry? You're right, indeed. Lisa's right, back to Belgium. The airplane a year old, first flight January 2023. Zaventem boys. The boys from Zaventem. Zaventem. Contrail still passing by. A bit further out. Is that the 747 that Wolfgang was alluding to? I think it might be. Hard to see. Hard to see. You guys tell me. For me, impossible to see. Let's also quickly turn back. The first of two consecutive 777-300ERs is about to land. The second one at a respectable distance. KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, Canada. Look at how squeaky clean those flap surfaces are. Impeccable. Not a grain of dust appears to be on them. Absolutely amazing. Hey Ricardo, goedemiddag. Good to see you again, mate. Tuning in from Wateringen. Almost going to Greece for your holiday. You must be looking forward to it. Now, time for another 777-300ER. This is KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. 9 hours and 35 minutes underway. 13-year-old airplane, PHBVF. Lest I forget, let's enable the image stabilizer for a little bit less wobbliness. On paper. 777 is 13 years old, first flight January 2011. Second airplane on the glide slope visible, and there is a third one turning in. Should be turning in the background from the left at some point. Not sure that we can see it together. Delta Airlines flight 136 also approaching, and a Chinese triple. Nice. JK Automotive is tuning in from Lelystad. Goedemiddag, good afternoon. Welcome one and all. On the outer flap surface. They're slacking, yeah. Ugh, hideous. Bad hygiene. Dirty girl. And Ricardo says, this Monday in 2 weeks, on Monday, October 14, flying from Rotterdam Airport to Greece in Greece. Absolutely beautiful. You must be so looking forward to it. That's the Chinese triple turning in, arriving from Guangzhou. Number 3, the number 1 and the number 2, and the number 3 is a bit below it. Now folks, if you've been enjoying the show so far but you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to more aviation enthusiasts such as yourselves, who might also like streams like these but who haven't come across the channel yet. Subscribe if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams in the future. This is KLM flight 1294 arriving from Billund. It is a 737-700. No Wi-Fi on board by the looks of it, no hump. And that is despite that the airplane is only 14 years old. First flight was back in January 2010. Wi-Fi was invented back then already. So yeah, interesting to see how some airplanes, some relatively recent airplanes, don't have those Wi-Fi humps on them, on the fuselage, and others do. Others that are older do have them. Seems to be a bit random. It seems that Crowfest 2024 is gaining in popularity. The field is harboring ever more crows by the looks of it. Not exactly sure why. They haven't been harvesting or sowing or anything, at least not that I can recall. Hey, that's nice, Ricardo, who says, during my vacation I will continue watching the streams. Well, do that, but also enjoy Greece while you are there. Don't forget to enjoy the surroundings as well, which I'm pretty sure are going to be beautiful. KLM Embraer 170, Britty Hopper coming in. Meanwhile, Russell and his cronies.
Hey, it's sunning. He's sunbathing.
Yeah, they're sunbathing.
Oh, not in.
Well, for a moment. Oh, what's happened to him?
The arm is light.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's aan te breien. I don't know how you call it in English.
He's losing feathers. Well, it was just the wind. It's just the wind. It's just the wind. When the wind is blowing, you can see its skin.
Look at that.
Awesome. Hey, and we have a little... Is that this airplane? No, that's not this airplane. I was wondering, I'm hearing something. Something with a piston engine. I'm hearing it, I'm not seeing it. It is on flight radar though. Now I'm not going to lose sight of the Chinese triple, which is next to land, arriving from Guangzhou, flight 2571, China Southern Cargo, 15 years old, first flight March 2009. Indeed, the annual Crow meeting, general meeting. Sam has to go. Oh dear. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, Sam. Hope to see you again soon. Yes. A little bit of reverser action, and I think we're going to get a butt shot to boot. That's a third wide-body butt shot in the show already. And Ricardo is sending all the airplanes above Wateringen my way. Thank you so much for that. They're all welcome over here. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Meanwhile, outbound traffic passing by overhead. That has taken off from runway 24. KLM and 190 by the looks of it. Turning back so that the camera wires don't get tangled. Hey, and we have a Contro coming this way. That is a twin jet, I think it is. Well, maybe we can pick up on that later. Right now it is time for a Transavia 737 arriving from Valencia to land, and after that Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan, an A330-300. Cargo locks at 7,000 feet above the North Sea, Adrian says. Thank you for letting us know. Now this airplane is flying on behalf of Transavia, but as you can see, it's even bland, more bland than the regular Transavia livery. Heavy hitters on the glide slope. Delta Airlines in the foreground, arriving from Detroit, 777-300 from KLM, arriving from Vancouver, Canada, behind it. Izzy says, far out, that plane just blew my TV speakers. Yeah, I should have mentioned AMS Live cannot be held accountable for any loss to speakers or eardrums. You're watching the streams at your own discretion. Viewer discretion is advised, as is parental supervision. Time for a quick sip of vodka before continuing with the landing of Delta. .747 is flying downwind off the coast. Should be over there somewhere. Not sure if you can spot it already, Lisa. It is now flying off the coast of Beverwijk, so probably further to the north in the vicinity of the radio tower, if not further north. Not sure that we can see it from over here. On paper we should, I think, if you know where you need to look. On paper. Well, you know what they say about paper. You think you see it? Say what? What's that, Lisa? I think Izzy has no more speakers left. Now, where did you think you saw that 747? In the vicinity of the radio tower? The windmills. No, I cannot see it. We'll have to wait. Next up is a 777-300 already on the glide slope approaching from Vancouver, Canada. It literally hurt your ears.
First time I've come here.
Ooh.
My right ear hurts.
Okay. Right ear now hearing damage. Okay.
Wow.
It was amazing though, yeah. I want it again. One more time. Ah, that's a perfect excuse to upgrade the TV, Izzy says. Yeah, that's a good way of approaching things in life, I think. This is KLM flight 682, 777-300 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Number 7 on flight radar, 236 people are following the airplane. It's the PHBVB, 16 years old. She's doing a wheelie. Nice. In typical KLM fashion with idle reverse thrust. Rolling out using the length of the runway. And that piston-engined airplane now apparently is landing on the Oostbaan, runway 22. At least on flight radar I'm not seeing it. I'm looking somewhere over there. It should be in the sky, but it is tiny. I heard it, couldn't see it. Not going to focus my attention to it. Let's focus our attention to what is on the glide slope right now. Two narrow bodies, in fact. Austrian is warning you, the 747 might get louder.
What?
Wait.
Start again, I think.
What? Yeah, I think I now have it as well. Yep, unmistakably, that is the Queen coming in. Cargo Lux 747 arriving from Miami. And behind it, I'm not sure if we can see it in the same shot. Probably not. It's further out. 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil. Nope. Not yet. Her Majesty the Queen, now number 3 on the glide slope. Preceding it are, respectively, from first to last, the Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Genoa, flight 1644, now in the bottom right of your screen. The number 2 is Vueling arriving from Barcelona, flight 8309, and Cargo Lux flight 6236 arriving from Miami, Florida, number 3. Number 4 is going to be a 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. Jeff says 747 is not landing on your runway, unfortunately. Whatever makes you think that, mate. It's not April Fool's yet. Gear is extending. Ooh! What's that? Is that the A350? Finnair? Might be. Where's it the 777? No, it's Finnair A350 off the bloody Helsinki. Standard livery though. Vueling landing. Yada yada. Yeah, that's a proper landing. Alright, back to business. Queen incoming. KLM flight 6236. Number 6 on flight radar, tracked by 276 people. Rookie numbers. Rookie numbers. 8 hours and 5 minutes underway. It is the LXJCV, 17 years old. First flight November 2006. Airplane behind it is KLM flight 751, 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. Hey there, Chris. Chris M just tuning in time to see Her Majesty the Queen land. Louis also. Valt met zijn neus in de boter, absolutely. Falling with your nose in the butter. That's literally what the expression is translated in English means. Well, what it literally translates to means being lucky. Falling with your nose in the butter. You deaf yet? Huh? What's that? Say what? Long distance butt shot from Her Majesty the Queen, gracefully vacating the runway.
That's some respect.
I am respectfully filming her. I am showing respect. Adoring her beauty. No, her butt is no longer. We're looking at her flaps now, which have retracted just in time. Let's quickly turn back. KLM flight 751 arriving from Guayaquil is approaching. Guayaquil, we all know, lies in the country called, and it is almost landing. 777-200 the PH BQP, 17 years old, first flight April 2007. Peter says, luckily Zwanenburgbaan is closed, so the Emirates King will also come to us. Has anybody had a look on omgevingsinfo and can anybody confirm this with certainty? It would be nice if the Emirates A380 were to land on this runway. Indeed, bold rage. Following the 747, this airplane looked small. In comparison, absolutely. Also, far less graceful. Now I'm one of those guys that whenever temperature drops below 15°C, my nose gets runny. Let me blow my nose quickly before continuing. Alright, back in the air. Also back in the air. TUI? Looks like a TUI Dreamliner. Bart also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Where have you set up? Cannot see you. No, that's somebody else. Man, you've really gone further to the north, haven't you? Next up is Shamrock, flight 604 to Dublin, arriving from Dublin, not to Dublin. It's the EICVB, 23 years old, first flight December 2000. And indeed, Frank, that's all the glue sniffing and that I do in my spare time that is causing the runny nose. Hey, contrail making a turn in the background. And a helicopter. But also a nice contrail turn. And a chopper, indeed. Is that Airwolf? It is. Hey there, Peter PDK, goedemiddag. Good to see you again. And all other viewers who've joined, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan. 1-8 right at the moment, the only runway in use for arrivals, at least until approximately 1 o'clock. Also expected around 1 o'clock is the Emirates A380. Still, I'm not sure yet which runway it is going to land on. Peter just now said since center is closed it is going to land on Polderbaan. I'm not too sure about that. Has anybody checked omgevingsinfo already to see where the A380 is going to land on? Would be nice if it were Polderbaan. Made in Australia said, God, those windmills are ugly for scenery. No shit. That's why we all put them on sea these days. Only it's just that those stupid people who came up with that idea put them so close near the coast that you can still see them when you're at the beach. So now our beach view has also been ruined. Ruined. Just like pie tastes better with Cool Whip. Our vista at the beach has been ruined. KLM flight 1788 up next, arriving from Hanover, Embraer 175 and an EasyJet A319 behind it, arriving from Milan. Transavia... Transavia Max 8? Rental, a Max 8 rental, arriving from Previtsa, number 3. Oh, east of Kassel. Okay. Huh? Okay, so it's going to be late. if the A380 is still above Kassel, it is going to land way past 1 o'clock, so it's going to land on the center runway. No need to check, we'll know for sure. Alright. EasyJet up next, A319 arriving from Milan. And it is a TUI. Yeah, okay, well I did not click on the airplane yet. I just saw Transavia, I just saw the label on Flight Radar. It said Max 8 and it says HV and TRA. So the only thing I could establish was that it is a Transavia flight in a Max 8. Clicking on the label, you can clearly see it is a TUI Max 8. Which obviously I hadn't done yet. EasyJet up next. And also something overhead outbound. Hard to see. There it is. And Russell's still over here. What up, Russell? Fighting around the world. Good. Here we have the TUI Max 8 that is rented by Transavia, arriving from Preveza, as I am trying to change the setting on my camera screen. Now we have a 777-300 coming in as number 2, KLM flight 744, arriving from Lima in Peru. Before that, a KLM 737-800 arriving from Milan. Wind is picking up a little bit, interestingly. Icelandair 767, number 3, visible in the background, only just. That is Icelandair flight 500. Sadly, the 767s already all painted in the current livery, the white with a bit of color, but mostly just boredom. Adi Greet, goedemiddag, good to see you again. Hope all is well. So, 777-300 and the 767-300 behind it. KLM flight 744 arrived from Lima, 11 hours and 35 minutes underway, the PHB VW. 3-year-old airplane. The airplane behind it is Icelandair flight 500, and Corendon A350 is the next airplane after that, turning in at the moment, which means we might get to see it from the left in the background. Already widening the shot more and more. Nah, I don't think we are able, or maybe you guys are able to see it, but I don't on my little screen out here. So including this airplane, 3 back-to-back heavies, 777-300 Squeaky clean flap surfaces once again, second to none. Icelandair flight 500 up next, arriving from Reykjavik, 767-300. And where is that A350 that is flying behind it? There it is, approaching the glide slope. Icelandair flight 500 up first, 2 hours and 41 minutes on the way to get from Reykjavik to where it is right now. 26 years old, first flight October 1997. Means she will be turning 27 next month. 27. That's what you say. I personally think that 1982 is also a very good year. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada. Corendon A350, now number 2, established on the glide slope. Gear hatches opening. And the gear is extending, or at least the main gear is. Bad timing. I have to go back to the 767 landing. Icelandair, arriving from Reykjavik. Lovely to see the 767. Pity of delivery. About delivery. Shame about delivery. Shame. 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 Now, looking up and around me, macro overview, the high clouds are definitely drifting in. Looking to the northeast is where it is still most blue. This is more or less, this is now turning to the east. This is southeast, south, southwest and west. Depressions are coming, and I'm not talking about my own personal depression, but the weather. Tomorrow, rain expected, as for Tuesday. So savor the moment. Last bit of sunshine and ever more cloudiness, and also the wind is picking up. This is World to Fly Corendon, or Corendon operated by World to Fly, whatever you would like to call it. The W3F airplane, what the fudge, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Curaçao, the sea of the ABC Islands. Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao, off the coast of Venezuela. The airplane is a year old, first flight May 2023. After this, airplane is back to narrow bodies for the time being. The Emirates A380 expected in half an hour or so from now. Jeff says that there's an A380 north of you. Let me see after this landing if I can spot it then. The nebulosity is increasing also to the north, unfortunately. Right, Jeff said A380 north of me. I think I have it. Northwest of me in the meantime. Now where is it in between those nebulous clouds? There it is. Yep, unmistakably Emirates A380. Where's it going to? Manchester or something?
Excuse me.
Oops, Chester. Apologies. How could I be so non-woke? I must need more caffeine or alcohol or both. Probably an alcohol deficiency problem. Let me fix that quickly. Oh, it's going to Birmingham. Burger. Alright, coming in next we have number 190 arriving from Berlin. There's also a BizJet arriving from Podgorica, and it's all yellow, Unicare. Learjet 35A. Have some woke vodka. I will, Frank, thank you. Woke vodka. Now this is one of the Adlers. Jeroen says 747 overhead, also going to Birmingham. Where is it? Left of right? Probably east of me. Schinken. Großartig. Now where's that yellow bizjet? Where? Where do you see it? Oh, over there. Yeah, I think I see it. I have it. I have it. Thanks, Lise. Can you see it is yellow? Only just. These are just vague pixels. Learjet. Sorry? Yeah, where is it? Oh yeah. But that is not producing a contrail. Mother fudger. That makes it even harder to see. Oh no, that is really... No, 747 is not producing a contrail. Impossible to find with the backdrop now. Sorry. What is better visible is the glide slope. Let's see, 3 airplanes on the glide slope right now. Embraer 190 in the foreground, arriving from Leeds. We have a 777-300 arriving from Atlanta in the background as number 2. Behind it we have an EasyJet A320 Neo arriving from Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik. Alright, group of young people behind me are singing. Interesting. It's also looking like the Embraer is also struggling with the wind a little bit more than the airplanes previously were experiencing. Still, mostly headwind. Right, the Germans have arrived. Milkiness in the southern half of the sky. Absolutely more cloudiness, more nebulosity than we had earlier. Time for another 777-300 In the meantime, Peter, good afternoon. And all others who have joined, good afternoon. This is KLM Flight 622, 777-300 arrived from Atlanta, Georgia. The PHBVC, 15 years old, first flight made 2009. For those of you joining us just now, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. At the moment still the only runway being used for arrivals, but the center is expected to open up in 15 minutes. The Emirates A380 is arriving, but it's going to land after 1 o'clock, so it's probably going to land on the center runway. That doesn't mean it's not going to be visible from over here. We can see it quite well. Should be coming in soon. Now, oh, that's the 747 that was still visible on flight radar. I thought, is a 747 going to be pushed back and take off from runway 24 in a moment, but that was still the Cargo Lux arriving from Miami. Robert asks, will you be there tomorrow? I'm arriving from Lima, and the answer is no, I will not. Mondays are my days off these days. I'm streaming, weather permitting, Thursdays through Sundays. So unfortunately I will not be able to capture your arrival, Robert. We have a 3 airplane linear glide slope shot over here with an EasyJet in the foreground arriving from Dubrovnik. Sup, bruv? Number 2 is KLM flight 1502 arriving from Madrid, and number 3 is another EasyJet arriving from Bashel. Nasty bosses have been dropped off in Bashel in Switzerland. Münster. Okay, still half an hour out. 26 minutes. Okay, thanks, Lisa. Floaty, floaty, floaty. Alright, next up, KLM flight 1502 arriving from Madrid, 737-800, 2 hours and 2 minutes underway. The airplane is 16 years old, PHBGC, first flight May 2008. Let's see, Air Canada 7878 is turning in. Third airplane on the glide slope, there it is. Air Canada Dreamliner. Next up, KLM flight 1502. Hey there, Stuart, good afternoon. Oh, wow. It pulled up the nose a little bit, showcasing a very common and very boring wheelie, or aerodynamic braking as it's actually called. Absolutely not worth making separate videos about. Very common occurrence. If you think this is special, you need to get out of your chair and see more of the world. EasyJet arriving from Bashel up next. Flight 21221. Binary +1. If I'm still allowed to say that. Is that okay? Binary? Is that a good, or is it's a non-binary flight number? So I think that's a proper way to say it, right? This is a non-binary flight number. It's very, very woke. It's arriving from Bashel in Switzerland and is 7 years old. First flight July 2017. Frank says aerodynamic braking is a posh word for showboating. It's actually 2 words, Frank. Anybody still left viewing? Have I chased everybody away now? Does Lisa need to show her legs? Yeah, that's on the OnlyFans calendar, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, K2 says hi. Peter K says that the A380 is over Enschede, and Maria says that the A380 has been assigned to Zwanenburgbaan, not unexpectedly. Luckily visibility is good and we can see it from over here. Air Canada flight 900 arriving from Montreal, or Montreal as the French say, or the French speaking say, is approaching next. 6 hours and 10 minutes underway. 10-year-old airplane, first flight May 2014. Michael says, you crack yourself up, don't you, boy? I absolutely do, mate. If I don't do it, who else does it? Combo shot with K2. One, two, three, four. Canada deserves more money. Right.
Stefan says, dad jokes coming out.
Yeah.
All that's left is a dad bod.
Well, I'm going to get rid of that dad bod pretty soon. My new diet is going to start as of tomorrow. So another 6 weeks of strict dieting and intermittent fasting to get rid of the dad bod that has developed over the last couple of months. Get that aerodynamic narrow body, sleek narrow body shape a little bit back. Now at Schiphol there's always a lot to see, and this lot is an Embraer 175 arriving from Warsaw, flight 263. Behind it is an Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. Behind it is an Embraer 175 arriving from Milan. What? It's all narrow bodies coming in. Turkish is also coming in, arriving from Prague. Istanbul arriving from the east. So going to the center runway. The first airplane to land on center is already on the glide slope. Yep. Lot coming in. Gentle touchdown of the main gear and a very soft touchdown of the nose gear. It is in the Star Alliance livery, a very polished looking airplane and a very polished landing. Traffic overhead outbound, more KLM, or no, it's a sassy SAS. Sassy SAS flying out.
Well, I am the sassy sass.
You're also sassy SAS, not just the only one. Next up is the Embraer 190 with behind it an Embraer 175. Parallel to that Embraer 175 we have the first airplane to center, which is a 737-800 arriving from Bergen. Bergen. Let's also do an update of the METAR. The wind on the scale of chimney smoke seems to have become a bit more horizontal. First airplane to center, also on the glide slope to center already. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke currently looks like so. Let's have one last look at the METAR and also what is coming. Now, the Emirates A380 is already in Dutch airspace and is approaching, will be arriving shortly. The METAR now says an 11 knot wind, blowing still from nearly exactly the south. A little bit of variation in between it, but not much. 4 bow 4 No longer cavalcade. Few clouds at 3,600 feet. The air temperature hasn't climbed. It is still 13 degrees C, roughly 56 degrees F. And the air pressure is still relatively high with 1,027 hectopascals. Quick update of the METAR in the ticker. And then it is back to the action. The tiki ticker has been updated. And indeed, Bart, not much with KNOT. The wind, not substantial. This is, what is this? Is this the Embraer 190? No, it is a 737. That's the 737 arriving from Bergen. And in the meantime, an Embraer 175 arriving from Milan. Touching down over here. I think it was in May the last time that we saw Captain Wheelie this year. Peter K says Saudia 787 from Jeddah in 8 minutes. Philos31 asks, what lens are you using? I'm not using a lens, I'm using a camcorder, and the camcorder is a Canon XA60. Has the equivalent of 600 millimeters of full frame zoom. Sorry? Oh shit! Dude! 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 Dude, come on! Yo! Mate! Mate! If you're watching my stream with a few seconds of delay. Dude! No last kiss goodbye from Bart. This is KLM Flight 1354, Embraer 190 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Meanwhile, we have a Transavia 737 arriving from Alicante, which is landing on Polderbound shortly. Let's turn around to see it land. The airplane behind it is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Aberdeen. Meanwhile, in between these two airplanes flying to the central runway is Turkish Flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul. So that makes for a nice back and forth thing. Air Aviation asks, has the A380 already passed? And the answer is no. We're still in expectation of it. It is in Dutch airspace still. Frank says, Bart is going to the snack car having a frikadelle special. If I weren't a vegetarian, I would have probably also liked that, but I think he's right in doing that if that is what he's doing. Yeah, I heard it from Lisa, Bart. I didn't see it. Too many A330s I have witnessed landing and my hearing has gone to shit. Right, Turkish Flight 1957 arriving from Istanbul. There it is, A330-300. 2 hours and 58 minutes on the way. Normally speaking, Istanbul, Amsterdam, roughly 3 hours. So it is flying nominally. The airplane 10 years old, first flight December 2013. Frank says the first signs of Korsakov is deafness. Hearing loss, yeah. Progressive aging as well. That also contributes to progressive hearing loss. Meanwhile, Alvin is not in the chat, but he was sending some videos to me via Instagram just now that popped up on my phone. Guy must have been out spotting after his shift. Quick pan back for the landing of an E2 Embraer arriving from Aberdeen, KLM flight 914. Nice combo shot with K2 coming up. Oh, belated deployment of the reversers. Interesting. Hey, you guys were wondering about where Steven Seagal was. The answer is, here he is. Oh, and that's an airplane turning in for Boldebaan? No, that's turning in for center. Going to center is another Transavia 737. And next up is going to be Vueling, arriving from Valencia, flight 8353, 2 hours and 10 minutes underway. The airplane is 13 years old, first flight February 2011. You think the yellow dot will be back now? I think so too. I think so too. That's very likely. Meanwhile, the Saudi 787-10 is on the glide slope to center. Looks like it'll be the second airplane. Oh, that probably was the airplane that we saw turn in just now. I think it was. So this is Vueling flight 8353 arriving from Valencia. 13-year-old airplane, first flight February 2011. KLM 737 flying parallel to it to the center runway. Flight 1602 arriving from Rome. Hey Alvin, what up mate? Alvin back in the chat. Just mentioned that I saw that you sent some videos over Instagram, but apparently weren't in the chat, but there you are. Hope all is well mate. Transavia flight 5676, 737-800 arriving from Ibiza, next to arrive. 8-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Saudi flight 215 arriving from Jeddah, flying behind it on the glide slope to the center runway. Saudi with the Jeddah Knights. The A380 is flying behind it. Is that already visible, you might wonder? And the answer is yes, yes it is. There it is. Emirates A380, flight 147. Arriving from Dubai. Not even in the top 10 on flight radar. 6 hours and 26 minutes underway to get here. Standard livery, 10 years old. First flight April 2016. Gear is now extending. Now, still very far away. Not so much the Saudia Dreamliner, so let's have a look at it. Flight 215 arriving from Jeddah. K2 just passed by. I think you might have seen it briefly. All is good. Thank you for letting me know, Alvin. Happy to hear that. Jin Shin says, gotta go to bed, good night. Mate, are you kidding me? You really aren't, I hope you really are kidding. Emirates flight 447 coming in. And 500 likes crossed. Thank you all so much for that. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. If you are liking the stream so far. Austrian Wolf just now gifting 5 memberships because of the 500 likes, I'm assuming. If that's the case, Wolfgang, you really shouldn't have, you know that, mate. Thank you so much nonetheless. I hope that the recipients of the gifted memberships will also say Dankeschön to you. New members, don't forget to use your custom emojis. You have them at your disposal for a month now. Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai. Now 6 hours and 28 minutes underway. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight April 2014. And Jinshin is actually going to bed. Well, in that case, thank you for joining Jinshin, and I hope to see you in the next one. Sleep well. It's a standard livery. If you remember, you have access to the newest iteration of the standard livery with the ribbon tail as a custom emoji. Also an A380 custom emoji at your disposal. Airbus, indeed, Ari is using all the relevant emojis, but feel free to use irrelevant emojis as well if you feel inclined to do so. If you want to put a queen versus the king, feel free to do so. It's all fair play over here. Michael also already signing off. Thank you for joining, Michael. Now, I'm not sure, is there anything interesting coming after this airplane on short notice? Anything big? Or is it just narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies? We began a little later today. I'm inclined to continue a little bit longer if something interesting is coming up, but zooming out of flight radar, all I can see is narrow bodies, so I think it is a proper moment to call it a day then. Enjoy what is left of the sunshine. The king has landed. And those are the reversers being applied. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. That was the end of the reverse thrust of the A380, which has landed now back in the Netherlands. Before I'm saying my goodbyes, I want to say a big thank you to Paul, who just now super stickered a lemon character blowing a big red heart. Thank you so much for that, Paul, very much appreciated. Also, a big thank you to everybody for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys did too. Lisa, thank you for joining me here again as ground crew. Moderators, thank you for keeping the chat friendly and accessible, and a massive big thank you to you all for tuning in. Like, if you haven't already, if you like the stream, it makes the stream more easily discoverable for new viewers who might also like streams like this. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Massive big thank you to you all for the support. A big thank you to everybody who has super stickered, super chatted, gifted memberships or become a member themselves. Thank you for the merch store purchases and whatnot. Again, thank you for joining me here. Hope to see you later in the week. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you all soon. Take care.